So this is just the follow-up video to the video that I just did. And I always like to do this because I know for people, especially if you are not spiritual, this is not spiritual psychosis by whatever it means, it's not the case. And I know sometimes for people, like I don't watch TV. The only time I get actual like news information, I'm usually like scrolling on TikTok and I find out a lot of things happening around the world. And I personally believe that TikTok in itself is like its own like timeline or something, right? As weird as that might sound. But yeah, like when I tell you these things are happening to me, and like I said, the real world answers, yeah, there's real world scenarios, but those real world scenarios are falling apart because it's not making sense. And again, I have all the receipts, I have recordings, I have all this that I go and spend my energy like showing and publishing all these things every 5 minutes. No, but we have them. Like close friends know, my kids definitely know all of these things that have been happening to me since about 2020, all right? And yeah, like basically, I mean, people will either, believe it or they won't. I think that at this point, a lot of people are seeing things. I don't know if a lot of people are willing to talk about it, depending on the field that they work in, depending on the fresh social environment that they live in. But definitely, I think, like I said before, I work with kids and I've always worked with kids and I teach and all this. But if I had stayed in that kind of like rigid, I was teaching at like very prestigious like schools, like, you would have been more like afraid to like be independent and speak your truth and like, just be natural and come out and say these things. Now I don't even care because, I work from home and I can be myself and I can tell you wholeheartedly all of the things that I've experienced that people, may or may not believe. But at the same time, like there's this quote that I remember was off of the movie, The Song of Bernadette, right? For some people, you can show them all the miracles in the world and they'll believe, or something like this, and it said something like, and some people, it doesn't matter how many miracles you show them, they still won't believe. Whatever. It's kind of like the same things. You can explain and have proof and receipts for all of these kind of like, I guess spiritual phenomena happening or paranormal phenomena happening. But some people, if they don't believe, they won't believe. But yeah, as I mentioned in the last video, there's definitely like crazy things going on. Unfortunately, like I said, a lot of us who are chosen ones, a lot of us who are like, flame carriers, or that we are seeing these things, and I keep saying it, like I'm not saying that they're not like Sims in the States, or I don't know if the Sims in the States are just already on a different level of like consciousness, like the way like we're more open to like understanding that these kind of things are going on, especially when it comes to like, electronic warfare and all of these kind of things versus other parts of the world. But like I honestly, at this stage in the game, I really feel like most of I this is my theory, this is just my theory, I don't have proof of this, okay? I really feel like the majority of us that are star seeds, or we're the ones who have incarnated into this reality, who are not from here. In that sense, we are not like the other Sims, are mostly, or were mostly like incarnated in the States. We were trapped in the States. And this will forever be like my theory of why the States always has like all of these horrible conditions for most Americans, with the food, with the drama, with the fear mongering and the warfare and all of this. I swear to you, I think that most of us are like from the States. And I know that there are other probably people around the world, but I'm just saying the concentration of the souls, I feel like, are there. Like they have us, like they had us in there, right? And then, the situation is like I watch other TikToks of some other, again, Americans who are in different parts of the world who are awakening, and they're noticing this, or they're talking more about the frequency, or they're talking about, like the things that they're seeing or the things that they're hearing. So this is really like going on. It's just kind of like, I don't know. Like that's why at this point, I really couldn't just sit there and just have a conversation with regular people, like, this kind of coffee talk situation, and like I could years ago. I mean, at this stage of the game, I really feel like um either you're awake and you're seeing it, or you're asleep, and I don't know, maybe there's not much that can be done for you at this point, because we have shifted. The energy has risen, and a lot of us are opening our eyes and our ears and our hearts to the truth. And again, last message, and I'm not going to make this like another long video. This is just a follow-up, because I was like, I don't know, maybe I came across like really like, because sometimes I don't even know how to explain the things that are happening to me, because I don't want to like come off like too excited, and then people are like, she's like wacky or something like that. But like, no, these things are actually happening. Okay. um but yeah, the most important thing, like I said, you have to understand that this is a simulation. We are in this kind of environment that you know this is what Jesus came to say. So I don't know, please, please, please know that his name holds a lot of weight, and you need to walk in a little bit more authority and dominion in Christ, because this world is not what we think it is. And if that is the case, then our minds, our attention, and our energy are very, very, very important. And you have to build your biofield, build up your auric field, build up your soul, and make sure that these archons, these demonic, parasitic, whatever they are running around here, whatever they've released, because like I said, I don't know if this is just the way the world always was, and then like you wake up and you just realize it, and this is happening all over the world, or I don't know if specifically in this region something was released and now it's just becoming noticeable to me because I've awakened and I've seen it, or something is exaggerating, or the veil is thinning, or a little bit of A and a little bit of B. I don't know, but definitely I need to get the point across that again, you have to work on your soul. You have to do that work, and please know that you have the possibilities through Christ to overcome all of the challenges that you're probably facing in your life right now. And that's why, like I said, I do these videos not to like get pity, not to complain, but because I rebuke every spirit of fear. I'm perfectly fine. Things can happen, whatever. We are perfectly fine. I can handle it. I've been handling it. But I'm telling you these things just so that you know kind of like all of the weird things going on, so that you can be aware. So if you start to have situations similar to this, especially if you are a targeted person or you are someone who's chosen, you can, have some, I guess, reassurance that you can also overcome it, because this world is not what you think it is.